Hi, my true crime besties. How's everybody doing today? Good, I hope. So, I love the show Disappeared. As you all know, I sit down and talk about crime that WTF me, but I love the show Disappeared, which also literally WTFs me every time I hear a disappearance story. So this one is about a transgender teenager who disappears after a night out. So, a little background: Sage Smith was born as Deshad LaQuinn Smith, but since Sage has come out as transgender, I will be referring to her as Sage. I believe that that's what she may have wanted. Sage grew up in a close family, but had the Smith family had experienced extreme poverty. Sage was especially close to her grandmother, Lolita, or Miss Cookie, who she lived with for a time in her life. Miss Cookie was one of the first family members that Sage had come out to. Miss Cookie told Sage that she had already known for quite a while Sage had a complex relationship with her father, Dean, but the two had been repairing their relationship at the time of her disappearance, which is super sad. Sage was described as energetic, outgoing, and colorful. She had been attending cosmetology school and hoped one day to be a hairdresser. So just, working really hard and coming out and just being herself. The disappearance, November 20th, 2012, Sage was getting ready to go on her date. She had that night. Around 5:40 p.m., Sage wakes up her roommate, Aubrey, who had been sleeping on the couch. Sage told Aubrey she was leaving for her date and that she'd be home later. The next day, Aubrey discovered that Sage wasn't home. She tried calling her, but there was no answer. Aubrey contacted Miss Cookie, her grandmother, about Sage's disappearance. Miss Cookie said that was Sage not answering was unlikely, and Sage was literally glued to her cell phone. Like, that girl would bring a charger anywhere. Miss Cookie told Aubrey to call police. The Charlottesville, Virginia police began their missing persons investigation that day. The rest of Sage's family also learned that Sage was missing. In fact, Sage's sisters found out through a Facebook post before their mom, Latasha, could tell them, which is very sad. I mean, who wants to find something like that out on Facebook? The police subpoenaed Sage's phone records as well, but due to protocol, it took a while for them to get them. Sage's family did their own investigation. They were able to guess the password to her phone and get into her phone records. And the last call Sage had made before she disappeared was to an out-of-state number, but that nobody knew. So her father, Dean, posted the number to Facebook and asked anyone if they who the number belonged to. A friend of Sage's named Yami Ortiz sent Dean a message on Facebook and said she knew who the number belonged to. The number belonged to a man named Eric McFadden. Eric and Sage had been seeing each other, but Eric wasn't out to his family and friends yet and also had a girlfriend. Dean posted a photo of Eric on Facebook again. He asked anyone to contact him if they had seen Eric. Police received a phone call from Eric's girlfriend, Esther Ivini. Esther asked the police if they could do a welfare check on Eric as he was missing. Esther said she was out of town for Thanksgiving and she'd been trying to call Eric all day, but he was not answering. So November 24th, there was no answer from Eric. The police went to Esther's apartment, but no one was home. Police learned that Eric had also not been at work for 3 days. Esther agreed to a more thorough search of her apartment. Inside, the police found receipts from CVS on November 22nd, which the surveillance footage from CVS obtained corroborated Eric had been seen just 2 days after Sage's disappearance and now could have been anywhere. The police eventually obtained Sage's phone records. They learned that Eric was the last person who had spoken to Sage on the phone and through text messages. They had planned to meet up at Amtrak station on Main Street at 6:36 p.m. Eric asked Sage where she was. Eric even told her that he would wait 5 more minutes and then he'd be leaving. When Sage didn't show up, Eric was leaving because she stood him up, according to the messages. I'm leaving if you don't show. And then he was really upset that, she stood him up. The police obtained warrants for Eric's computer, bank records, and social media accounts. Nothing was found. There wasn't any information about Eric's whereabouts until November 27th. Eric contacted the police himself and said he was in New York because he always wanted to go. The police asked Eric about his relationship with Sage. Eric admitted that they had a sexual relationship, but that he wasn't out to anyone in his life yet. So it was a part of his life he was trying to cover up. Eric told them that he did have plans to meet with Sage in the front of the Amtrak station, but she never showed up. The police asked Eric to meet with them in person. Eric said he'd be coming back into town on the bus and even gave them a time that he'd be back. He never showed up at the police station. Police received a visit from Eric's girlfriend, Esther. Esther said that Eric had sent her an email explaining what had happened to Sage. Eric said that Sage had shown up on November 20th, that they had been walking around when other people showed up. Eric said he left because Sage had several enemies of her own and he didn't want to be a part of it. Eric also told Esther that Sage had been blackmailing him about their relationship. Eric said that Sage had done it before to other men. One man that Sage had also been seeing also had a girlfriend and wasn't out to anyone. The man's girlfriend discovered his emails between him and Sage. The man blamed Sage for everything and was rude and aggressive towards her. One night when Sage was walking home, the man assaulted her. Charges were brought against the man for assault. He was ruled out as a suspect as he was incarcerated at the time of Sage's disappearance. Weeks and months passed without any information about Sage's case. On December 3rd, the police received information about Sage's credit card that had been used at a convenience store. When police saw the footage, it was by her roommate, Aubrey. Aubrey's explanation was that she and Sage were really close and would often use each other's stuff. Aubrey said she had just used the card to buy groceries. Sage and Aubrey's other roommate, Shakira, and Sage's family thought it was really bizarre, so they didn't believe her story. The police didn't have any other evidence, though, to believe that Audrey was, involved in any other shape, form, or fashion. Eyewitnesses. The police were able to speak to two other people that had seen Sage on the night of the disappearance. Sage's stepsister, Kyria, told the police that she had seen Sage on Main Street around 6:30 on November 20th. She said that Sage had been on the phone with someone, Eric. She said that she heard Eric ask Sage where she was and that Sage told him she was on her way. Another eyewitness came forward on February of 2013. A woman named Monica who had known Sage for years, and she had seen Sage around 7 p.m. at the Wild Wing Cafe. The Wild Wing Cafe shared a building with the Amtrak station where Sage had planned to meet Eric. Monica said she only had a brief conversation with Sage. Sage had told her that she was meeting someone. Monica said that Sage was alone when she left the cafe. So, several other people from the cafe were questioned, but no one could remember Sage was the person they had seen. That cafe also didn't have any surveillance footage. Months passed again without any information about Sage's disappearance. The police ruled Eric out as a suspect on November 2015. The police said that Eric didn't have the means to get rid of anyone. Eric didn't own a car and lived in an apartment that belonged to someone else. January 2016, the police received a call that there was a sighting of Sage in Chiquita, Virginia, about 300 miles from Charlottesville. The woman wasn't Sage, but her roommate, Shakira. Shakira revealed to the police that Aubrey hadn't been telling them everything. Shakira said that she found Aubrey's behavior odd after Sage disappeared. Aubrey had been using Sage's things like her credit card and her hair. And Kira, Sage's stepsister, also revealed that Aubrey was really jealous of Sage. And Shakira later said that Aubrey was close to Sage and that maybe her behavior, wasn't odd as she once thought. Aubrey has maintained that she had been forthcoming and doesn't know what happened to Sage. So, in March 2017, Eric was once again considered a suspect in the case. Sage case has not received as much attention as some of the cases from the area. Just like the case Hannah Graham, a University of Virginia student. Hannah's killer, Jesse Matthews, pled guilty and was sentenced to life in prison. So not much coverage on this, so I wanted to get it out, speak of it, get her name and face out there, and be aware that, we're all the same, and everyone deserves their story heard. So like and subscribe.